Ross Chastain used the wall all the way around this racetrack. Logano has been the class of the field.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
Yeah, I need to change my underwear.
With the running order set for Atlanta, Brian and I are in to talk all things DraftKings as we go to the Quaker State 400 from it's now Echo Park something or other instead of just Atlanta Motor Speedway. We hit the running order set. We kind of got the names we expected at the top, but we got some interesting names along the field. So we'll run through that whole player pool. We'll also look at the updated outright odds. Not a lot's moving, but it would be interesting to see if there's any wiggle room or anyone we feel much better about now that we've kind of settled down and all that good stuff. Brian Twining from the lovely confines of the home office. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I mean, qualifying got shortened to just one round, which kind of sucked. Had I known that, maybe I wouldn't have played my other long shot poll bets here. But what are you gonna do there? Just glad they got it in. Denny, of course, typical Denny Hamlin qualifying effort at a super speedway, even worse than what he predicted on the show on the live broadcast when he said he'd go 24th. He actually qualified outside the top 30. So as you said, that there's some interesting people down the running order, and of course the Penske group, including Josh Berry, fast as all get out. I mean, just way faster than everybody else, starting in the first four positions, monopolizing the front two rows. I'm afraid we're going to get another ride along with Penske for the first stage, maybe the first stage and a half, with them completely dominating the race, ultimately leading to none of them winning because they wreck each other while trying to go for the checkered.
Yeah, I mean, they will go checkers, then wreckers. Interesting to see. Obviously, we expect them all to be there. I wonder if there is some interesting numbers for winning stage one. As you mentioned, it's so easy for those guys to follow, but it'll be interesting to see if it's just a Logano thing or if there is other opportunities. If you are new or you are enjoying this show, make sure you click that like button. Make sure you click subscribe. Brian and I are here twice a week for your entertainment, for your information, breaking it all down from a betting perspective and a DFS perspective. I will pull up the lineup generator or the lineup. I pull up DraftKings.com. That's what I want to say. Brian, we were doing this on a Friday instead of a Saturday, and I feel so out of
It
the
is very
loop.
strange. Yes.
But we are here for the people because we want to give them the thoughts, the picks, the plays. Make sure that you drop questions, comments, thoughts in the down below. We will obviously, with a later race, have plenty of time to loop back and try and interact. You can also reach out to us on the X machine or Twitter, Brian_Twining and Notorious KRO. We're happy to chat all things NASCAR with some other really smart people, and our friends over at Win the Race, by the way, powering this beautiful, beautiful show, decided to throw everybody who hasn't subscribed, and honestly, anybody who's not currently subscribed, a bone and a fat discount. So it's normally, I think, was it 40% off, 30% off?
Yeah, 40% off right now.
30% off. So
totally worth it.
Yeah, it's a hell of a deal, and you can get that for the rest of the season too. So our friends over at Win the Race want to get people on board and in the house. So come on over, jump in, check out the tools, jump in the Discord, tell them that the Angle of Pursuit Boys sent you, and we're happy to 40% off, $30 a month. That's where I was getting those two numbers from.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at that too, you place one, you enter one lineup, and you cash, you double your money. You just made
you just
2
paid
months
for the whole
worth
month.
of an entry of.
Yeah, you're playing more than $30 on DraftKings.
Yep.
If you're watching, you're betting more than $30 at the betting window. You're spending more than that on whatever your caffeine of choice is, I'm sure. Like it's a nothing burger that over the course, like you get what's that, like $5 a week, basically $5 a race.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. So
And the
Um,
amount of information that is not only on the site, but in the Discord with so many different, vantage points of the racing and the odds, which, when you start to do this longer, you realize is very important because everybody winds up getting into a little bit of tunnel vision on certain drivers or how you like to bet things. And sometimes it takes hearing from other people like, hey, no, maybe you should look in this direction. And yeah, that is more than worth the price of the site alone before even going into the tools that you have access to.
Plus, there's some really smart people in there dropping knowledge in terms of qualifying odds, in terms of fastest lap, in terms of most fastest lap,
Yeah.
markets that get hammered quickly that you can't really put content out for. But if you're in
Mm.
the Discord, you get access to information as soon as it goes live. Jump on the best numbers, and then it's done. So, but Brian Twining, Ryan Blaney starting third, 11K. Joey Logano 10-7, Byron starting 18th at 10-5, Cindric 4th at 10-2, Kyle Larson 11th at an even 10K. It's Hendrick, it's Penske, it's the names we expect. I guess let's start with the Penske boys. If you have to power rank them in terms of dominators, guys you think should be up there that you're willing to spend the money on, is it the order that the DraftKings laid it out, or do you prefer somebody else over Blaney or Logano?
So obviously here, because it is more of a super speedway, you run the risk of these guys wrecking out, as I kind of talked about in the lead in, wrecking out, going for the win. And then had you played them going for the dominator points, which, full disclosure, unlike Daytona and Talladega, you are going to see probably Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney and Austin Cindric possibly lead a shitload of laps here tomorrow night or today as you're watching this on Saturday. And so, if you want to get different from the field, not many people are going to be playing guys starting up front. So I do think you can maybe do a lineup where you pick one of those guys and get risky and hope they finish up there.
Yeah.
But in reality, the first guy and only two guys I would even consider realistically here are Byron and Larson. But even they're like sketchy.
Honestly, it's probably just Byron. Like I could, if you're in a
Larson's getting better.
I mean, this guy is having issues finishing races at places where he can normally just be fine. Now he's going to a place where he traditionally maybe things will get flipped on their head, but given that if he's starting 18th instead of 11th, I would be interested. 11th is, I don't know. If you told me that Logano was just amazing and dominated most of the race, but yeah, it's hard to spend the money and have that thin of a window. Cindric is also somebody that's sort of interesting in that mold, but it's just like at the end of the day, do you want to trust Austin Cindric? No. Do you want to trust Ryan Blaney? At the betting window, I do. And then Joey Logano is, yeah, it's probably just Byron and then move down.
I mean, just to lay this out there on the table, Penske has led over 30% of the laps in the Gen 7 era at this track. And then when you even just go back to this spring, Logano led 83, Josh Berry led 56, Austin Cindric led 47. Ryan Blaney, ironically enough, who started on the pole, only led one lap. But just goes to show you that whole camp, they're going to just stay up front and keep the lead as long as possible because track position is extremely important on super speedways and everywhere now in this Gen 7 car. So unlike other or past years of super speedway racing and like Gen 6 and before, where you could kind of make your way through the field, it's much more difficult, especially at Atlanta, which is more narrow. So, I mean, like I said, if you want to roll the dice and pray that you pick one of those four guys and that they're the one that leads a bunch of laps and also finishes where they kind of started, I don't hate that because there's not going to be very many people that do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the scoring from last year to see if I can get an idea of. Yeah, like Bell started 32nd, finished first. Let's see.
Carson Hocevar finished second, and I think he started like 27th.
Yeah, so like in terms of your highest scoring drivers,
26th.
it was Bell starting 32nd, Stenhouse starting 34th, Hamlin 37th, Kosovar 26th, Ross Chastain 33rd, Kyle Larson started 17th, finished third here in the spring. So I guess maybe we'll see. John Hunter, but yeah, Logano and Kyle Busch started 4th and 6th, finished 12th and 7th. But because Logano led so many laps, he was a top 10 scorer.
Yeah.
But he had to lead 83 laps. And that accounted for basically half of his scoring. So, even if he is awesome and finishes, I mean, obviously you want him to finish closer to the like top 3 or 5. But yeah, and then even Blaney, you started first, finished 4th, and led how many laps?
You led one lap.
He only led 1 lap, but he finished he scored like 40 points too. So like you're gonna have a fine day, but what you're spending to get to those guys, I don't know. It feels thin and unnecessary. So yeah, like I said, I think Byron is the only click I'm comfortable making, and obviously I have him on the outright card, so I'm optimistic about his potential this week, but we'll see. Chase Elliott, Dennis Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Brad Keselowski is your 9K. 9K is full of chalk, but not bad chalk. Obviously, Keselowski's an easy cross off. Bell or Hamlin, either, neither, or both.
Both. Why the hell not?
Well,
we're talking about the spring race winner in Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
And Denny, who even if he does go full dad, like I need to be safe mode here, a top 15 finish is very realistic.
Yeah. Looking at win the races ownership projections, Denny seems right. Chris Bell seems light, given that he won here in the spring. I know he's not great here, but it seems like it should be like 30-something percent, not 20-something percent.
And Bell can also get, so this is something else too that I think people might be underestimating is, especially at a track like this, with 2 straight road courses or street course with Chicago, whatever, upcoming, and Christopher Bell's strength on that track type, with him already having 3 wins and fairly secure in his standings in the playoffs, he can get extremely aggressive here to try to win.
Yeah, and at the road courses where he can be really good, if he's not having a good day, he can stay out on stage 2 and get those almighty important playoff point and be like first or second in the in the end of the stages. And then if he's like, all right, well, I don't really have it today, but I'll stay out, I'll get my point and I'll call it a day. I think that is something to consider as well. So I like that call. Let's dive into the 8Ks because I think I guess is Elliott closer to Byron? Like, no. So you'd rather
he's closer to Kyle Larson to me because I think you might have a lot more of the public jumping in here. Chase Elliott's the most popular name in the sport, supposedly still, which I have zero understanding as to why. You probably are going to get maybe a lot more people from the Atlanta area playing this week. And who's the most popular driver there? They have the stupid siren, Chase Elliott. So
yeah. The one thing I will say is I don't know what I was gonna say. My brain just shut off on me. So
Friday recording is messing with our brains.
Dude, I tell you what. Yeah, I'm a little more open to Chase than Larson for sure. But we'll see.
Yeah, but see, I think most people lean that direction as well. So I would rather play Larson. I'm not going to play either, or like I would prefer to not play either of them. But
Yeah, and I guess we'll see where we get when we're actually building lineups if we really consider either of them. Because as you mentioned, they're not quite Logano slim, but they're not also as dominant here.
Yeah.
8K. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski are still really popular, given the fact that they haven't been relevant really in 5 years. So it doesn't surprise me that Chase is also still relevant.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Ross Chastain, Christopher Buescher, Chase Briscoe. Briscoe, see ya. Buescher, I want to interested from a betting perspective. I don't know if
Yeah.
DraftKings. Chastain's fun. We both
Reddick is winning, so
right. So if he starts 23rd and he wins the race, that seems good.
yeah.
And Kyle Busch, 29th, like he's also somebody that I know I just made a joke about him, but like he could finish like 6th or 7th here
And
and
he's really good here.
be
And
awesome.
also too, what it was kind of surprising to see in qualifying that despite going out after teammate Austin Dillon, he actually went slower than the 3 car. And that was after we had that like weird lightning delay. That lightning wasn't even anywhere close to the damn track, which here we go. Another old man yells at cloud rant real fast. We need to revise this lightning hold policy because when 8 miles out, are you telling me that people can't get out of their seats in enough time to avoid a lightning strike when it's 3 miles out as opposed to 8 miles out? What the F is the difference?
I mean, probably there's probably a difference. That it's probably too close, but you know,
Even Dale Earnhardt Jr. was clowning on the decision to go into a lightning delay, saying, like, I didn't see no lightning, which this is not 1970 anymore. Like,
what does that mean? In
I don't know.
1970,
I'm
you
just
could see
pissed off.
lightning, and
It's
now
just
you can't.
frustrating.
I don't know.
It's just frustrating. It's like there was no weather in the area. There was
Oh,
nothing imminent at the track that should have caused them to delay the on-track activities.
Weatherman Brian once again making his appearance in this week's Angle of Pursuit podcast.
And then the same thing right now. As we're recording this, the Xfinity Series, I turned it off. Xfinity Series is under a lightning delay that keeps getting continued because there's lightning that's probably like, 5 miles away from the racetrack or so. Yeah, totally interrupting the racing and putting all the cars in danger and all that stuff when
So
there's
how
no
close is
clouds
too
over the
close?
track.
How close is too close? Is it 3
A
miles?
mile is a long ways away. They don't even issue fire evacuation warnings until a fire is within like 3 or 4 miles. And yet we're worried about lightning 8 miles away? Are
Yeah,
you kidding me?
I don't. We don't. This isn't accomplishing anything. Let's talk DraftKings. Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Ross Chastain. What's your order in terms of excitement and willingness to click their names?
As much as I'm like betting wise, I have the Reddick ticket and I'm rooting for him to win this week. For me, I got to go Busch, Chastain, Reddick in that order.
Yeah, I mean, if Ryan's ownership projections are on point, definitely Busch over Chastain.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Where's Tyler? Oh yeah, Tyler's compelling for sure. I know. We're the Tyler Reddick podcast. We've been clowning him for weeks. I mentioned last episode. He hasn't had a top 10, or he says one top 10 since April, so that's not good. But this would be an interesting place for him just to flip the script and turn it around. Hocevar, Suarez, Bubba Wallace, Alex Bowman, Josh Berry, Tyrone Gibbs. Hocevar, Suarez, easy clicks. Bubba Wallace, pretty easy click. Tyrone Gibbs, no.
Gibbs is like right in that Elliott range, and he might be on the other side of the cliff in terms of excitement to play here.
Yeah, but you also save 2,000 going to him, so I don't know. He's not
Yeah,
he's not an
I
insta
feel like
click
in
for
this
me.
range, you got it. You just stay at the top. I mean,
Yeah.
Hocevar, Suarez, Wallace, they all have equal, if not better, upside than anybody in this range. So you just stick there.
I think those are the easy names. And then we talk Stenhouse, easy click. McDowell, easy click. No Priest. Do you trust Connor Zilic?
Zilic has been good in the Xfinity series on this track type so far this year. So
yes.
I don't not trust him, but I don't think you're going to be stuck in a situation where you have to use him.
Yeah.
If you know, like, I would rather play somebody like Stenhouse,
Right.
who has extensive experience in this package, in this racing style, and he's one of the better drivers in the super speedway package at that, than
Yeah.
play a rookie in his first Cup Series start at a super speedway.
What if I told you that rookie has 30 less percent roster percentage?
All right, then
We're
I
having
think we're on to
discussion,
something.
right? Yeah, I think we have some really interesting names. I kind of racing through it only just because I think it's going to be more fun to try and actually couple together and see who
Oh
we end
yeah,
up leaning on. Gillen 17th, Eric Jones 26th, Noah Gragson 27th, AJ Allmendinger 21st, and then Austin Dillon. Dinger, Gragson, Jones, all are interesting enough. Gillen starting 17th is too close.
yeah,
Is he clearly behind Elliott, Gibbs, and Byron for you?
100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's probably right.
Also,
Zane-
too, why would you play Gilliland when you could play Nemechek starting 2 spots worse
yeah,
for cheaper?
true. Or play Dinger, who's starting
4
farther
spots worse.
back,
Yeah,
and he's a little more expensive, or he's less too.
yeah, he's cheaper too.
Yeah, yeah. Justin Haley, we get Corey LaJoy sighting this week.
Yeah.
Stack them pennies, baby. Got him off of Prime and back into
Yeah,
a
you
car.
stack pennies, you're going to be winning pennies.
I think he might actually be interesting. I'll
Well, you know, he's checkers or wreckers. Like, he has no other plan other than to try to get to the front here.
Well, like Atlanta's like one of the places where he wasn't like completely useless, right? He had some talent that we could find. I don't know.
Yeah, he's good at super speedways.
Yeah. Custer, no thank you. Herbst, no thank you. SVG, no thank you. Ty Dillon, no thank you. Cody Ware, BJ McLeod, David Starr. Sure.
Look, SVG, he might be the GPP takedown winner driver.
Really?
He's just going to be there to survive and get a good finish. Like, this team is probably already planning out their victory celebration for next weekend in Chicago. You pass by Zillish, yep.
We could do that too.
Right there.
Okay.
I love this. This is great.
Who else?
And then you put Denny.
Okay.
Oh man, and either Bell or
friendly reminder: don't have to spend all your money this week. Friendly reminder: stack the back. Friendly reminder: let's have some fun. Kyle Busch, I think, is a name. I think Tyler Reddick's a name. I don't hate Byron.
I'd rather go Busch, honestly, because Kyle Busch, he only has a handful of races left that they look for that they think they can win. And I'm pretty sure Atlanta is probably one of those tracks.
Sure. All right, so we're gonna build 5 lineups because there's the contest. The contest I usually enter our lineups in is a 5 max. So we're just gonna build all 5 and load it up. Where do you want to go?
Go all the way down. It's BJ McLeod week.
Barfaroni, the San Francisco treat.
You want to get really gross? We could play BJ and Corey LaJoy in the same lineup.
That seems unnecessary and very wrong.
Could you imagine if this turned into another? Was that Atlanta fall or Atlanta spring?
Yeah, it was
of
Atlanta like 2
2023?
years ago.
Yeah,
Sure.
I forget
Welcome
what
to the
track it
lineup,
was
Corey
at.
LaJoy. What now?
Stenhouse?
McDriver, Stenhouse.
I mean, this could just be the barf lineup.
I mean, it could.
I mean, it's literally all guys that could wreck. Hocevar, got to put Hocevar if that's this is the checkers or wreckers lineup.
Denny,
Reddick?
Chastain, Tyler Reddick. Sure.
Let's do it.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
That's
Let's
so
ride.
gross.
All right, NASCAR. How do you feel about having trucks and Cup on the same day?
I don't know. It's weird.
Byron or Elliott? You pick one.
Man.
We're playing one of them.
Byron. Definitely not Elliott.
McDriver?
Yeah. I like McDowell this week. Did you want to make a lineup with like throwing a dart at one of the guys that are starting near the front?
I mean, we can do one. It's probably not the genius move, but I think it's fine. Is it Logano?
I mean, honestly, he's probably gonna stay in the lead the longest.
Okay, we'll do Logano. Now we need to stack the back.
Yeah, he does Logano things
Kyle
the best.
Busch. We don't have to get too crazy, I don't think, but we'll see.
No.
Yeah,
we do need to go to the back. I think this is probably where we go to Stenhouse again.
Yeah. Especially, but like we can get super chalky if we're gonna play Logano, because no one's gonna play Logano.
Yeah.
So we can do like all the chalk donkeys. Let's see. You know what? If we're gonna do that, I'm gonna take Byron out. I'm gonna put it in Dennis.
All right.
And then we can do.
I mean, it really doesn't change.
No, but I think Denny is like
safer.
Yeah, like I think Byron finishes the race in front of Denny, but with the spots, even if it's somewhat close, I don't know.
I mean, back to Zilich.
I kind of want to play Chastain, but I don't know if that's doable. I'm trying to think of what. I guess we could take Kyle Busch out and put in Chastain.
You'd rather play Chastain over Busch?
Yeah, I don't like that, so I'm not going to do that.
Would you? What if we took McDowell out?
Okay.
Because then you can get somebody who's, cheaper but starting near the same range. Like even a LaJoy or even a Cody Ware.
Like I'd much rather play. Why would I want to do that? Like that doesn't. I'd much rather if I get the better driver, worse spot. We already have the unique angle, so we don't have to like worry about that. I think.
All right, and then honestly, I would go Zilich.
Okay, that works.
Especially, looking as you were talking about, just looking at roster percentages.
Sure.
Although Cody Ware, he might be riding the excitement of Rick Ware Racing being sold and apparently being told that they're going to be going all in to be a race winning team again.
Oh, I'm sure. Nothing says race winner like Cody Ware.
All right, I think we got to go back to Denny here.
Okay, we're gonna load up on some Yodas with Cody Ware. So we're gonna go Dennis. We're gonna go Reddick.
What about Bell?
Sure. Yeah, we haven't
Mhm.
clicked him nearly enough.
Yeah, and then Bubba.
Bubba. And then see,
I think everybody else qualified too high. Herbst, well, except for
what-
Jones.
I mean, yeah, I mean Jones is the name that probably makes sense, but like at this point, I'm fine clicking whoever. I just wanted to load up on
We
basically.
could go Chastain here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, building lineups for super speedways is fun.
So much fun. Because you just do one weird thing and all of a sudden you got it. Like if Cody Ware is just fine, like that could be everything that we need. And we get off of the leverage we need. Okay. Is there anyone that you're dying to play? Like let's put it this way. Who is your number one favorite play that you think the most upside, the best potential, doesn't matter price, doesn't matter roster percentage, doesn't matter anything. Who's your favorite play?
I honestly think the driver who's going to be the most aggressive to get to the front and stay there is going to be Kyle Busch.
Okay. Kyle Busch.
I'm not going to bet him. I'm not really betting the race. So we'll just, before we even get into the betting side of this, full betting preview, like I'm not betting. But I do think because of the way because of the way the season lays out moving forward and where Busch is in the standings, like he's got to go for victories, and this is one of the best tracks for him to try to do that.
Busch.
I mean, if you want to play Byron here, we have zero exposure to Byron.
I know he's the one that I've won because I think he's going to be good, but like, I think I'm happy holding his ticket in the outright market and not clicking.
Yeah, but
him.
I mean, you might.
Don't twist my nips. Let's go, William Byron. Welcome to the lineup.
He's starting 18th too. Like he could win.
Sure. Amigo, you're gonna get up there. You're gonna be awesome. Richard Stenhouse, you're gonna get up there. You're gonna be awesome.
I think we should play Hocevar in this lineup.
Again, we did that duo, but sure.
We did?
Yeah, but I'm into it.
We played Stenhouse and Hocevar?
We did in the last lineup or two lineups ago.
Oh, okay. Take out Hocevar and put in Chastain then.
Okay.
I like that.
Ross, the boss, Chastain, and 7,600. And we could do Bubba. We could do McDriver, Zilich, or Eric Jones.
We have not played Eric Jones.
We have not played Eric Jones.
I honestly don't want to get too exposed to McDowell because we've seen what he does with how aggressive he is.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do Eric Jones.
Yeah, just to get some exposure to him.
Sure. 5 lineups. Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Chastain, Suarez, Zilich, SVG, Reddick, Hocevar, Stenhouse, Dinger, LaJoy, McLeod, makes you want to barf. Logano, Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Stenhouse, McDowell, Zilich, Denny, Bell, Reddick, Chastain, Bubba, Cody Ware, Byron, Busch, Chastain, Suarez, Eric Jones, and Ricky Spinouts. Those are our 5 lineups. They're going to go in. Don't dupe me, bro. Betting card. I got to figure out what the Dinger Top Chevy number is. I'm going to go back and watch the episode and put that in. I've been slacking a little bit this week. Byron 16, Chase Elliott 18, both Ford to win 125, Dinger to win 65 to 1. Brian has Reddick because we're dumb. Dinger 65, and then the Dylan over Elliott 2 to 1. Sure, Brian.
And the only reason why I have the Elliott over or the Dylan over Elliott is because I played Elliott to win the in-season challenge.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hedging off of it this round.
Yeah, if you missed our last episode, we did do a pretty good preview of the in-season challenge. Went over some of our favorite targets. Time to get in on some of those, as well as the Stay Green boys. They made a appearance from the Abyss and talked a little in-season tournament as well. So go check those out if you haven't watched those yet. You have plenty of time as the race isn't until tonight. Ryan Blaney 7-1, Joey Logano 10-1, Austin Cindric 10-1, Chase Elliott's 12-1. Brad Keselowski's 14, Byron's 14, Kyle Busch is 14, Kyle Larson's 18, Chris Bell's 18, Chris Buescher's 18. Inside 20-1, who's the most intriguing to you? And don't say nobody, pick one. I don't really, you don't have to.
It would probably be Kyle Busch.
you don't have
I
to max
honestly
that
think
over.
that he's going to be there. That's just kind of the way that I'm looking at this.
Logano is 10 at FanDuel, 10 at Caesars, 10 at Rivers. So if you like Logano, bet him there. Don't bet 850 or 9. Cindric is sort of interesting. Byron is like 14 or 15 pretty much across the board. Our friends offshore still have an 18 hanging. So if you see this and they're still up, that's a fun number. I did take some of that. Chase, you can get as long as 18 over at MGM and Rivers, although I should actually double check that these numbers are correct. So I will do that over on my other screen. Yeah, because I don't like 12 or 14 on those guys when I can when that's basically what like the Penske guys are. So I'm optimistic that those numbers have moved, and I got myself some CLV, which is famously.
I mean, Byron is 15 at MGM still.
Okay, what's actually it's coming up now. What's Chase over there?
Elliott's 18. Kyle Busch is 18.
Yeah, so MGM, at least as of right now, is hanging some beautiful numbers. So get on that. Would you be interested on Christopher Bell in 20-1?
Probably not.
So I guess let's use MGM. Where you can get like you said, you can get Byron 15, you can get Kaz 15, you can get Kyle Busch at 18, Larson at 18, Elliott at 18, 20 for Bell, 20 for Hamlin, 20 for Buescher. Of the guys that are 20-1 and shorter, who's your top 3 options in order?
Man, I'd probably have to go Busch, Bell, Hamlin.
Wow, we are going to be different. That's great. Chase
Chase
Elliott.
Elliott cannot win. He cannot win a race.
God, I can't wait to clip that.
He thinks he's racing in the early 90s.
That and play that back for you when he wins this week. Oh my God, give it to me. Give it to me.
He thinks he's racing in the early 90s and that he can just get by continuously finishing inside the top 5.
The Winston Cup standings exist in some people's mind, Brian. Chase Elliott, William Byron, Christopher Bell. That's my trio in that order.
I'm going to be really sad when Kyle Busch wins and I didn't bet on him, but
yeah, especially the love you've given to him. Hocevar 22, Stenhouse 22, Chastain 22, Barry 25, Bubba 25, Reddick 28, Suarez 28, and then Bowman and Briscoe both 30. You can get a little bit better of a number. So Reddick, Brian and I are both in on Reddick. I'm actually going to add it to the card. I don't think I actually added it, but
yeah, because we had. Oh, it was 25. Oh shit. Yeah, it was 30. Where did we? It actually moved to 30. Shortly after we had recorded, and I got that numbers. So.
Let's see. Is that the best number I can get? Actually, let me look.
So he's 29 at FanDuel.
You can get, it says 30 at MGM, but he's not. Is he? Oh, yeah, he's 30 at MGM.
Yeah, he's 30 at MGM.
That is the number I will be adding to the card. It's time to bet, folks. We don't need to get crazy. You don't need to spend all your money, but like I mentioned on Tuesday when we recorded, I think it's a fun week to grab like Elliott, Bubba, Reddick, someone else, and just put like basically whatever your unit is and divide it up by a couple, 3, 4, pick a couple names and just have some fun lottery tickets. Get the boys over and everybody throws $10 on like 4 drivers and have something to root for because I think that
I
would
was
be
just
fun.
going to say, we're going through all this, and on Saturday night, Logano's probably going to lead 100 laps, and
But he's not going to win, so it doesn't matter. Although I do like if you depending on what number you can get, the Penske and the Ford, I think to win are both
yeah.
fine. I'm wondering what Penske to win is now, though. I bet it's not as good. There was like
Oh, it's
some
got to be tiny.
250, 225s, even
If
up in
that, it might be sub 2 now.
yeah. Let's see.
I think the only driver that you worry about there is because you have Josh Berry, who he's basically driving the 4th Penske entry. And he does not count. If you play Penske and he winds up winning, you're screwed.
That is how that works. Not winning manufacturer. So it's plus 120 at 365. Team of race winner. So 365 still has Penske at plus 250. Friends offshore have 225. I think if you can get north of 2-1 and it gets you Blaney, Logano, and Cindric, and then you sprinkle in whoever you want around it, like a Byron, like a Elliott, like a Busher, like a Bell. I think that's a fun way to bet this week. Um, so, yeah. I'm gonna instead of Ford to win, I'm just gonna go Penske to win. I've been waffling all week, but since the numbers are the same, I'm just gonna update my card and call it a day.
Fine.
Oh God, now they're really dead.
I'm digging my grave this year on the show for
There
bets.
you go. I love to see it. I love to see it. I'm
This
so
is
proud of you, Brian
disgusting.
Twining. Let me see. Can I get you a better number?
No, I think that's the best available.
Let's see. Yeah,
As
18.
Kyle always says, we're here for entertainment.
Yeah, let's have some fun. It's Atlanta. Things are going to get crazy, but it's not like a total wreck fest. Do you like any of these longer shots? Bowman, Briscoe, Priest, Gillen, Priest, John Hunter, Tyrone,
I don't
McDowell.
hate those guys, but it's just difficult. Like Ryan Preece at 35-1 anywhere is too short.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
I mean, when you're getting Tyler Reddick at 28, who has a win at a super speedway in recent memory, and
You can get 40 at FanDuel if you really want it.
even 40, I think it's the same thing. It's like,
What about 50 on Tyrone Gibbs?
nope. I almost
About
said a bad 4-letter word.
60 on Eric Jones.
I don't hate that.
How the is Corey LaJoy 65-1?
He's good at this type of track. And again, going back to the fact that LaJoy is that his sole purpose of racing this weekend is to try to win. He's not points racing. He's not going to care about, a good finish. He's going to do everything possible to get to the front and try to win this race, whether it's wrecking out the entire field or, taking out the top contenders. He's likely going to be the one that does that.
All right, I'm going to give you a handful of names at 65-1. You tell me which one is your favorite. Noah Gragson, Connor Zillich, Austin Dillon, AJ Allmendinger, and then I'll include Justin Haley, Riley Herbst, Ty Dillon, SVG. If you had to bet one of those, who are you betting? Are we still riding the dinger?
Repeat the names here. I got through because you didn't include LaJoy. I was waiting for. Oh no. Okay, Austin Dillon. I take it back.
Yeah,
Austin Dillon is the name out of that group that I
Yeah.
think would be the most likely to win.
Would
and
you
be the
bet
most.
Corey LaJoy over any of those people?
I would probably take Corey LaJoy over all of them.
That's crazy.
Had I not already played Allmendinger, I think LaJoy, because he's in the Ford camp, so he's aligned with the best car at this track. He doesn't have to worry about the repercussions of wrecking the field anymore. He's not in the garage other than on TV for Prime, and that part of the schedule's over.
Yeah, how mad are the boomers that have to figure out what channel to watch the damn race on?
Man.
I mean, you are our boomer insider, but like
I'm fully averse in March Madness. So today, when I saw that qualifying was on True TV, it wasn't that big of a shock.
Fox, Prime, TNT, NBC.
Yeah, but it's not even just TNT though. It's TNT, True TV, and then who knows? Maybe they're going to throw something on TBS too, because Turner has all three.
Give me like 6 races on USA. The one nice thing about like things like YouTube TV, which is non-spawn, but it like shows you the race, and it doesn't show. You don't have to like scroll through the fuck ton of channels. You just go, there's the race, play the race, and it works. And then you get like Max or something with like the in car, and you're just living the dream. So like, well, something to think about. All right. Anybody
Total Boomer
else?
take on YouTube TV is once that time slot where it says what something is supposed to be on at a certain channel, it just goes away. It eliminates that channel from the scrolling thing because now it's something else. So if you like exit out and say the race overlaps by like 5 minutes, you can no longer just click on that channel because it doesn't recognize that you were already watching that. And now it's a completely different show. Whereas on cable, like DirecTV, non-spawn, it just stays on the channel. Yes, total boomer. I will live and die with satellite until I'm forced to give it up.
Alrighty then. Byron, Chase Elliott, still love him, especially if you can get 18 on both. Penske to win 250, Dinger to win 65, Reddick at 30. Brian has Reddick, Dinger, Kyle Busch. He has Dylan over Elliott. Our full betting card, Substack, AOP Podcast.substack.com. AOPpodcast.substack.com. Link is in the description. Full betting card. DraftKings thoughts. Favorite bet potentially. Brian might just Lucy in the football this week and punt. Grid rival thoughts. Links to all the episodes. If there's other stuff you guys want to see in there, definitely let us know. Appreciate everybody's coming over there and clicking the subscribe button so you get that in your email inbox every race day for $0.00. If you want to tip the boys, there's definitely a spot to do that. Not a requirement, not necessary, but much appreciated to the fine folks that have done that. Brian Twining, anything else you're considering potentially adding? Anyone intrigue you that we haven't discussed yet? Anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm contemplating that Penske at 365 just because you're getting the 3 favorites that are going to be running up front the majority of the day.
Yeah, I think it's a really good week to dive in like that. Like it's like that was just like Mexico where you could bet Trackhouse with Ross up front. SVG is the dominant favorite, obviously, and then you even got Suarez mixed in there, who had won the Xfinity race. I think it's very similar, and obviously the top 3 names. That'll probably be one of my bets I write up this week, just because that number exists. I think it has to be 2-1 or better though in order to take advantage of that one.
I will say though that it is scary playing that just because it's a very short number at a track that is not as predictable as other like 1.5s. It's more predictable than traditional super speedways, and it's only been Logano from the Penske camp that has actually found victory lane here. So,
I mean, it's plus 185, and that's not as good, but it's fine. I guess my question to you would be: is there any other team that may be getting a little extra juice that you would consider, given that Penske's number is so short? I don't think it's 2311. I don't think it's Hendrick. I don't think it's Joe Gibbs, maybe RFK. Because you get
Yeah,
Busher,
I even
Brad.
think the RFK number is a little bit short. I don't hate the look on RCR. I
Yeah.
mean, 12-1 is still a little bit short, but when you consider the fact that both Dylan and Kyle Busch have won at super speedways in their careers, super speedways are probably Austin Dillon's best, well, maybe second best type of track. And Kyle Busch, like I've been waxing poetic about this week, this is like his race that he's been looking forward to the last like 3 weeks to try to get a win. So
Yeah, but I feel like if you took like your $100 and bet like 70 of it on Kyle Busch and 30 of it on Dylan at 60-1.
yeah, obviously you have to price it out, but I mean, in terms of just overall price for a team, I think that's probably the most intriguing. The Penske one is terrifying as all F, but it's
Yeah.
probably the play.
Yeah. So if you do 75 on Bush at 18 and 25 on Dylan at 60, it basically is like $1,500 each. And if you put 100 on
12, yeah,
RCR, it's like, yeah. So if you do 75 on Kyle Busch at 18, it's $25 more, but it's more. And then obviously, and then you
yeah,
could,
you could play the remainder on Dylan.
yeah. And if you do like 80, you get 1,500 on Bush, and then 20 would be little over 1,200 on, but that's Austin Dillon. So like, and I think if you put $20 on Austin Dillon and you won the race to get you $1,200, you'd be
Yeah.
pretty excited. So something to think about there. Like I mentioned, our newsletter will be up to date, so make sure you go check that out. Click like, click subscribe. If you have questions, if you have thoughts, if there's a must play in DraftKings that we didn't hit on, make sure you drop them in the comments. If you find really cool bets or really good bets or value bets, definitely drop those. Check out our friends over at Win the Race. Jump in, $30 for a month. Even if you don't even if you try it for a month and you're like, man, this just isn't for me. It's too much information. It's too much whatever. I think it's worth a gamble, but I think you'll find that getting in the Discord, having the access to the sims, having the access to the speed reads that Ryan does every week, you'll find a ton of value, and it'll reward you, and you'll end up wanting to keep that rolling over for the rest of the season. And then you'll come back for more because Win the Race is an awesome place to hang, and some really, really smart people in the Discord there. Greg Mathern's obviously a big part of what they do as well from Daily Downforce. So make sure you check that out. That's Brian Twining. I'm Kyle Robert. Enjoy Saturday night's race. Take advantage of Sunday. Do something fun with the family. Get those brownie points, whatever you need to do. We will be back in the lab on Tuesday night, in your feed on Wednesday morning to recap the week that was, as well as spin forward to Chicago, Brian Twining. And you may or may not have boots on the ground. Are we boots on the ground officially? Okay,
We
so if
sure
you are
are.
in Chicago,
Yes.
hit Brian up on Twitter or X. Let him know. You guys can link and build in Chicago. We will still have all of our episodes, even with Brian on the road, as we always do. So Chicago's in the vicinity. Sonoma's in the vicinity. We'll both be boots on the ground there. So definitely let us know if you're going to be in wine country. And then we will be back. We'll be doing our thing. We appreciate everybody who's been writing. As a reminder, if we get to 1,500 subs by the playoffs, which we still have a few weeks, we will be giving $100 giveaway. Either Fanatics, 47 brand, NASCAR, whatever you want. And then in-season challenge, our full breakdown is on the Tuesday episode. That's linked it's linked on the channel. That's linked in the newsletter. That's all over Twitter. So go check that out. That's Brian Twining. I'm Kyle Robert. Enjoy the race. Let's cash some tickets. Let's make some money. And we'll talk to y'all next time.